I'm in that pink Lamborghini doing 105. All my girls sitting pretty, hanging right by my side, singing baby one more time. It's a vibe, yeah. Baddies on the go, we just wanna ride.
For today's cup of coffee with Scream, our weather has been so miserable. I mean, it's just miserable.
Why has it gotta be rainy? Why
And
has it
it's
gotta
like-
be rainy?
It is cold. We had highs maybe in the upper 50s today. Gray, rain, wind.
It's cold.
It's
It's
just
wet.
nasty.
It's cold. It's wet. It's cold. It's wet.
And it's like it makes us go back in
Great.
hibernation mode. And then we had to go out because oldest kid had to have he had a dental appointment. So youngest kid and I sat and listened to classic rock.
Yeah, and it was good classic rock.
Of course it was, including Boston, Electric Light Orchestra, different things like that. Just good stuff.
Yeah.
Because if you're in a crummy mood and you've got some good classic rock, and I'm not talking about some of them B-sides that you're like, where the hell did they get that one from? Good classic rock. There is something comforting about songs. I don't care if you've heard them 1,000 times. If you hear Carry On My Wayward Son, you're going to start singing.
Yeah, it never gets old.
Huh.
Carry on my wayward son.
I mean, just good
There'll be
stuff.
peace when you are done.
Fun stuff that we try to amuse ourselves with. That's just like as far as the cats. The cats are always a constant source of annoyance.
They are a
It's like
nuisance.
we were sitting out on the porch. There's a cluster, there's a whole herd of cats and a raccoon. And I'm like,
Sometimes
do
you
other
can't
people
tell the
live like
difference.
this? Really? As long as the raccoon don't come in the house. No, they don't come in the house. They tear shit up.
Don't bite my feet, please. Don't let it bite my feet, please.
Yeah. Yeah, but and it's like we were laughing about one of the cats will make this when he wants his way. The most annoying frequencies. He will make these noises just because it's like a baby's cry is designed to make adults get up and do something. I mean, it truly is. They've done studies on this.
Yeah.
He who does that.
He does. And it's piercing.
It is.
It will cut right through whatever it is you were doing or listening to.
And it's like, so we've got to where we will mimic him because we're petty. And it's like, the emergency broadcast signal. Have you ever sung along with it? We have.
I've sung to the vacuum.
Yeah.
I've harmonized with the vacuum.
Yeah. Things that ADHD people do.
Harmonizing to a kitchen fan. Mm-hmm. That was an actual thing. Someone did that, and it sounded very good, and it was also very... I don't know how to describe it. You would have to listen to it. It was like... Aww.
It's fun with frequency and vibration.
But it was like this very... For some reason, the hum of the kitchen fan, along with what she was singing...
Yeah.
It was something very comforting.
Oh, I'm sure she's probably got a YouTube channel and TikTok and everything else. Oh, don't forget, Esperanza Vence has got, and I've put her channel, and you can go into, she's calling them quick hits, which are these little fast, they usually last less than 10 minutes, card readings that gives you a sense of direction for the day. Mm-hmm. Is brilliant. It's needed.
I did not get a chance to watch it today.
Well, you can watch it here later on. It'll still be there, but I'll have that in the description box just as a standing something so that you can go and support her and get some direction. God knows we all need some direction right now. Some more so than others.
You want to talk about a lack of direction? Jackass.
Oh, God.
I watched Jackass last night.
I am so sorry.
Movie.
I am so sorry you did that. Oh, God. That's just how people have failed, how society has failed certain groups. They have failed other groups. And our story today is from Daily Mail by Kelly Garino and
First,
published...
I thought you were about to say gorilla.
No. Published May the 27th, 2025. And I'm just going to read verbatim. I just used the screenshot of the title. for our backdrop today. It says a renowned Canadian university has launched a bizarre Adulting 101 crash course for pampered students who can't perform the basic life tasks like changing a tire, buying groceries, or doing laundry. Now, this writer appears to be, she must have been traumatized by changing a tire, because I wouldn't even put that as a basic life skill. I would put as far as, being able to be fiscally responsible. That's more important, because most people have roadside assistance or whatever if they have a flat tire.
Right.
Maybe it's different in Canada. I don't know. It says, in an era dominated by digital innovation, Generation Z, or those born between 1997 and 2012, are in desperate need of practical knowledge that older generations might otherwise consider common sense. There was a lot of this in this article. I was doing the razor fist. Fuck you, I was right. Fuck you, I was right.
But also, question. Tell me if I am wrong on this. Home ec was one of those classes in school that does give you basic life skills.
Yes.
What the fuck? That makes me wonder what happened to it.
Well, because they don't want people to know how to be independent. They don't.
But it didn't teach you how to change a tire, but it definitely taught you how to cook, how to do laundry.
Right.
How to sew.
We had other teachers that took us and showed us how to change a tire, how to check the oil in your car, different things like that. It was a different world. And it says that this one first-year student at Toronto Metropolitan University had told CBC's The Current, quote, "I don't know how to change a tire. I don't have a car at all. I don't know how to sew. I don't know how to do a lot of things other than cooking," end quote. Well, cooking's important. If you can feed yourself, if you can prepare a meal, that's good.
Yes, that is good. But also, you don't need a class. You don't need to pay money to learn this stuff.
If you don't have parents that teach you, yes, you do.
YouTube.
It says
It's
that
free.
the University of Waterloo, a top-ranking institution in Ontario, known for its programs in math, computer science, and engineering, has responded to the growing demand by launching the online course, see, there you go, Adulting 101. And you're right. If it is online, you could go to YouTube.
Literally. That's a lot of the skills, skills that I have. It has been many a year studying from PhD YouTube.
Yeah.
From Dr. YouTube.
I see nothing wrong with that. It says Adulting 101 is designed to teach basic life skills that Gen Z often struggles with, including cooking, budgeting, basic nutrition, laundry, and even navigating a grocery store. I can't even. It says that the course description on the university's website reads, quote, "You've probably already started to notice that things won't get done unless you do them. From managing your finances, grocery shopping, keeping your laundry white, staying organized, there are a lot of important life skills you might have wished you'd learned sooner," end quote. And there's no way that you cannot read that without sarcasm.
Right. Now listen, there are some life skills like basic nutrition and keeping your whites white. I know how to do that. It's just I don't care.
Well, and it says that beyond teaching basic life skills, the program emphasizes mental and physical health, encouraging students to explore their personal growth. The university also offers skill evaluations to help students identify their strengths and areas for improvement. And Director of Student Success, Pam Charbonneau, I butchered that. I'm sorry. I don't speak Canadian. Sending a message to those struggling. What you're experiencing is normal. A lot of your peers are going through the same thing at the same time, end quote. Not necessarily. She's part of the problem.
Yeah.
And it says the course covers everything from maintaining healthy relationships, practicing fire safety in the kitchen, and changing a tire. See, she's fixated on this changing a tire. I think that this person must have had a bad experience.
It must have.
It says, for many, the course has been a saving grace, not only helping them personally, but also boosting their daily confidence in navigating the ins and outs of adulthood. According to Charbonneau, many students report feeling anxious or stressed as they figure out their life post-secondary school, and that access to the resources like Adulting 101 helps normalize their experiences. She added that many students have also expressed a wish that they had learned these skills earlier in life. No shit.
Yeah.
Experts have attributed the generation's lack of skills to several factors, including the decreasing independence these young adults are given during childhood. Decreasing independence. Yes. Yes. And this lady, it says her name is Jean Twenge, is a researcher and psychology professor at San Diego State University.
Just a twinge of genes.
Suggests that prolonged adolescence and helicopter parenting have delayed development among Gen Z. Hallelujah.
Yes.
I need to get some of her books and look into her work. Twenge, who studies generational differences, argued that limiting children's freedom and failing to teach them practical skills is only doing them a disservice, as reported by CBC. Oh, well, it's reported by anybody who's observed some of these kids. And she told the outlet, quote, "We send them off to adulthood without other skills. If they're not learning how to make decisions on their own and solve problems, that can be challenging," end quote. As the author of several books, Twenge has extensively researched how a lack of foundational knowledge leaves young people more prone to making costly mistakes in everyday life. In her 2017 book titled iGen, Twenge introduced the concept of slow life strategy, an idea where people live longer, spend more time in school, and parents tend to have fewer children, but raise them with greater care and intention. It says this approach, she claimed, often leads to kids gaining independence later than previous generations. Another reason for the gap may be that students are living at home for longer periods, which often results in them taking on fewer responsibilities as parents continue to manage the household tasks. We've seen that. We have seen that lots.
Yeah.
She encouraged parents to move away from the mindset that they must do everything for their children and instead start involving them in tasks like cooking and laundry at an earlier age. However, Twenge's primary concern while analyzing the gap is the rising rates of depression and other mental health issues among young people. A 2023 commentary published in the Journal of Pediatrics reviewed dozens of studies and reports, concluding that the rise in mental health issues among young people is linked to fewer opportunities for children and teens to socialize away from adults. The commentary suggested that depriving young people of independence can contribute to elevated levels of anxiety, depression, and self-harm. Because we've also got this stuff on YouTube and they won't let you speak proper English. And so Charbonneau had said, quote, "Self-advocacy is probably the most important piece and probably where the gap is right when they come in, if they really haven't had much of that before. You see their shoulders drop when they realize there's actually someone and something there to help me solve my problem," end quote. That made no sense. That sentence made no sense. Yeah. Other universities have also begun offering programs that address topics such as planning, finances, and first aid. While Twenge supports universities offering basic life skill courses for Gen Z, she emphasizes that the real solution must start much earlier. So in other words, what we're doing is raising kids that are going into college and not knowing the skills that kindergartners used to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of, from the perspective of a Gen Z, this even astounds me. But then again, I very much did learn this stuff early. Some of it you were very, and this is not going to be one of these where I'm going to pick on you, but there were certain things that sit there and go, "Hey, let me show you how to do this," and you're like, "No, I'm not going to do that."
And that was my bad, because it should have been, hey, you live here, come do this.
Like what exactly?
Well, anything. I mean, just certain things that you weren't interested in. Because household chores, children do need to be involved early, because they're part of the group.
Yeah.
And if you leave them out of that, they don't feel like they're part of the group, or that they can't contribute, or that they'll do it wrong, or whatever it is. And Jordan Peterson has, I don't know, I think he's lost his rabbit-ass mind on some of these things lately, but he did have a really valuable perspective when he said that, his little ones, to teach them even how to set the table. It doesn't matter if they don't do it correctly. You show them how to do it correctly. To sit there and go, the fork goes here, this goes here. Make sure that everybody has pieces of silverware. Make sure that the dish is here, that they have a napkin, different things like that. Mm-hmm. How many people still eat at the table? How many people still have family meals?
Some do, but most of the time it's them eating in front of the TV.
Right. This needs to be reclaimed.
Yeah.
Basic first aid. If a kid, everybody gets hurt, especially little people, and they closer to the ground. They get cuts, scrapes, different things like that. They hurt, they cry. And any kid takes their response, and how that their response is to be gauged by the reaction of the adult. Mm-hmm. If the adult panics, the child will panic.
Yeah, that's always how it is, because they're sponges.
Yes. So that's why if the adults it's like, you're all right. You all right. Look, we're going to let's go in here, get some soap and water. We're going to clean this off. We're going to put a Band-Aid on. Here's a cookie. You're good. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It can be that simple.
Yeah.
But how many times do we have these parents that go into fucking hysterics over nothing?
A lot.
And especially the ones that are too busy trying to film this stuff or video it or whatever the hell it is for TikTok. How many times have you seen them using kids as props?
A lot. Have you... Ryan's World.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a kid's
Oh, was that the one where they were making him test the toys?
Yes. And he even had his own line of toys out in Walmart, stuff like that. Completely, basically, child slavery.
It was wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
like, if you want to be a star, make your own channel. Don't use your kid as a tool for that.
But they have been doing that. That or the parents to coach the kids. Oh, you didn't cry hard enough. Yeah. Let's do this again, and I want you to act this way. Yeah. That teaches a child to be inauthentic.
It's the same thing as the ones that are in Hollywood.
Uh-huh. Yeah. That's frightening.
Yeah.
And we've got a hell of a lot of Munchausen by proxy out there right now. A tremendous amount. More than I ever dreamed possible. And I'm just going to leave it right there because it's very controversial.
Yeah.
We're not trying to be controversial. I'm trying to gloat.
But now see, with me, like, I will if it's clothing, I will put it right in there. As long as it's not fuzzy or towels, I will keep those separate. If it's white, I'm tossing it right in there with the blacks and the reds and all that shit too.
Yes, but some of that's my clothing also.
I usually try to separate yours, but with my stuff, I couldn't care less if it bleeds onto the
But you
white.
should, and that goes back to having respect for yourself.
Shit.
But this is how you build that. People who have depression, that's one of the things, and that was one of the things that we had to note about somebody's mood. You can tell somebody's mood a lot of times by how they physically present. Did they comb their hair? Did they brush their teeth? Do they have on clean clothing? Different things like that. Because basic hygiene and different things like that, that's one of the first indicators that there is a mental health issue. Yeah.
Yep.
And so to sit there and go, I want to do this. But it's just part of keeping a house. As far as to vacuum, to wash dishes, it's one of those, if you eat from a plate, wash the plate.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
There's a stack of plates in the sink right now that I need to wash.
Well, but children need to understand. It's like, it's not a damn motel. You know, room service is not going to come in and cater you to your ass.
No. And the real world is certainly not like that.
Right. Right. And part of it, when they were talking about people having children later and not having as many children, that is part of the problem. It truly is. Mm-hmm. And I had researched that many years ago as far as why do people do what they do with the kids. And when you've only got one or two or whatever, as opposed to 15, 17. I mean, it's not that long ago, that was not unheard of for people to have that many children.
Right, but also there is other extenuating circumstances as to why people are not having children.
Oh, yeah, lots of them. And as far as people should not harass young people about, oh, well, you need to go out and get your own place. Really? How? Where? How? You know, why?
Yeah, now it seriously, people now do not make as much money.
Right.
As they used to.
Do not shame them about that.
Bare minimum. They're struggling just to keep up their payments on their cars or something like that.
Well, and it's like, that is a relatively new concept also.
We are literally being paid less than slaves.
Well, you know, shit. It's like people used to have generational homes. Mm-hmm. They would have this one big house, and all of them lived there together. So as far as this, it is still a very, very strange concept to me for somebody to move totally a vast distance away from their family. That is not Appalachian culture. We still very much keep people close.
Yes, and I will say there sometimes are reasons why they do that. Sometimes, usually it's to gain a new perspective, to see what the rest of the world is like, and eventually they do come back.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, but as far as basic first aid, basic finances, if you have $10, you can't spend 11. I mean,
no.
These people don't understand. Our fucking government doesn't understand that concept.
No.
Anyhow, maybe they need to take this Adulting 101 class. Just simple things. I did try to teach the kids some of these things as they were growing up, because you can't assume they're getting anything in schools. Public schools right now are just, no, they need to be raised and rebuilt, because there is no way in hell that I would send a child to public school. I pulled youngest kid out of public school with the 6th grade, and when he was in 6th grade, and these idiots sit there and tell me that the Declaration does not count on public school grounds.
Yeah.
And it's like, no. Like I said, if I had known then what I know now, I would have gotten an attorney.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of shit that goes on that is not, it's not right.
Some of the most well-rounded children that you were going to, probably the Amish children.
Yeah. Probably.
I mean, they truly, that's their culture. But also, there's other individuals that are homeschooling, and it's like they do the required amount of studies for however long. If you don't have a room full of children where the teacher is teaching to the lowest denominator in the class, because that's what they do. Mm-hmm. Mom and I were talking about that the other day. So the kids at the upper end, they're lost. They really are. And they're bored to send them that long for that many years. It's failed.
Yeah.
It has totally, completely failed. But the homeschool, what they'll do, they'll let them have their lessons, may take a couple of hours, then they go and do things, life things. They teach their children how to raise animals, raise a garden, keep a garden, all kinds of things. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How to repair things in the house, how to sew, just an amazing amount of things.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when I read this, I thought, this is ridiculous. We'd laughed about it. We had laughed about it. We was just ahead of the game again.
Mm-hmm. But it's like, if you don't know how to do something, YouTube it. YouTube it. If you don't know how to do something, if that is a possibility, ask your parents then.
That, or I will tell you this. I've told you about the cyber grannies. We was laughing about the cyber grannies there several months back. If there is a young person that, I doubt that there's any young people that watch us because we just out there. If you are a young person and they need to know how to do something, email me. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to shame you. Because you don't know how to do. You just, for whatever reason, you don't know how to do. Let's find a way for you to learn how to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing as far as if you need prayer, if you've had paranormal or supernatural experiences. Everybody's having those now. But if you've got one that's kind of over the top that you want us to make a video about, that would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. The world went stupid even since we started doing the paranormal stuff.
Yeah. It's been going stupid since 2008.
Yeah.
Actually, not even 2008. After Y2K.
Mm-hmm. That Wave X, when that came through.
Wave X really fucked shit
There was
up.
that one little guy, and I honestly can't find his videos there on YouTube anymore. But he kept talking about Wave X was coming, Wave X was coming, and it was a frequency or whatever it was. And we had a cat that after that frequency went through, never acted the same after that.
No, his personality totally switched. Which one was that?
That was Butterbean.
That was Butterbean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we don't know what the hell's going on.
No.
But we know how to sew on a button.
If you don't know how to sew on a button,
let us know and we'll find you a video where you will teach you how to sew on a button.
Yes.
It's not that hard, honey. You can do this.
Can you thread a needle? Do you know how to thread a needle?
A lot of the kids, they have never, honestly, the level of dysfunction is just astounding. And it's really hard when you're working with somebody like that because I don't have poker face. But in something like that, to, have to tame my facial responses so that I don't cause somebody embarrassment, because that was never the intention.
Right.
Because I've also worked with adults who had, an assisted living, issues and stuff like that. I didn't work that long in that capacity, but I have worked with that. Mm-hmm. But anyhow, yeah, interesting times.
Yeah.
Cyber grannies, y'all are needed. Cyber papaws, uncles, aunts, abuelas, whatever.
The whole family.
Yeah, that is it. People need families.
Yes.
Now more than ever.
Mm-hmm.
And pray for these kids. Pray for them.
Yep.
You want to tell the people so we can be found? You getting ready to say something? Yes, you was over there taking a big, deep breath. What?
I was going to be like, hey, I conquered a fear today, and it wasn't really a fear. It's just like, this was not that bad.
Right.
This is not that bad.
Yeah.
Actually selling something online and then following through with the shipping and stuff like that.
Yeah, the people in the post office, they're not usually abusive.
I don't think that they care most of the time.
No, they've got a job. It's like, as long as you've got a shipping label on it and a return label and you've paid for whatever, they don't care.
Yeah.
And you have to sort of sit there and go, oh,
I think a lot of the
did
time
you
they're
put
bored
fragile
out of
on
their minds.
those boxes?
Huh?
Did you have a fragile sticker on those boxes?
On one of them.
Okay.
The other one I did not.
I don't know that the people who deal with the packages give a shit.
No.
They're not delicate.
It will say...
We've seen videos.
Yeah. The box will say fragile, and they will still throw it.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, the people who bring our packages are nice people. We've never had any problem with them.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah.
They're really respectful.
Yeah. They was raised right.
Mm-hmm.
You want to tell the people where we can be found?
You can find us on BitChute, Rumble, and YouTube at Rolanda's Cup of Coffee with Scream. Also, check her out on X, previously known as Twitter, at RolandaCOCWS. Thank you all for joining us. Have a good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's just, there's so many challenges out there for so many people. Never assume that somebody knows how to do something. Know that you are loved. Treat other people the way you would like to be treated. And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup.
Yep, yep, yep.
Bye.